Hi everyone, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you for joining me. This is today's project. It's this rather cute Santa Claus in a box card. Very easy to make, so stick with me and we will get started. And which way do I want those to turn? I want them to turn that way. So I'm going to turn my card around and I'm going to score at 2 3/4 of an inch. But I'm only going to score down as far as, if you can see, I'm only going to score down as far as the 3rd score line. And I've got a cat that's about to join in the fun. So, oh, here she comes. Go on, shoo. Shoo, baby. And down as far as there. So here's my pre-scored card. And now I'm going to do some cutting into it. I'm going to cut some pieces away. So I'm going to cut the flaps. So I'm going to cut at 2 3/4 inches. But I'm not going to go all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to start on that line there. So I'm going to line up the pointer on my blade with that line there. And I'm going to go up to the top. And I'm going to do it again at 5 inches. And again, I'm going to line my pointer up with that. Whoops. And go all the way to the top. And to extend the arm on my cutter. And I'm going to line it up at 8 1/4 inches. So I'm lining it up every time with the folds that I've made. And cut along the top. And now I'm going to cut let's get this the right way around. I'm going to line up so here are my flaps that are going to fold over on my box like that, but they I don't want them to go all the way down. I just want them to go part the way, so I'm going to cut off some of them, and I'm going to line my box up at the 4-inch mark on my Stampin' trimmer, and I'm going to cut down as far as here. So to avoid accidents, because I know what I'm like, I'm going to start on this end. This is the bit that we didn't score. I'm going to slice all the way up to the top. There we go, and these are now going to be my box flaps. And one more thing that I'm going to cut off is the flap at the end, and again I don't want to go all the way to the bottom. I'm just going to go that far up, and this time I am going to bring in my scissors and I'm just going to snip that away, and I'm just going to tab that end as well, and here's the start of my box. It's easier to trim these while they're flat. So I've got my my squares of paper, which I want all going in the same direction, and that one will go on the other side, so I'll keep that one to one side for the moment. So I'm going to bring in my snail. I'm going to apply the snail to the back of my bits of paper. I love this. This is from the Home for Christmas DSP. Did I just say that? Well, if I did, I'm repeating myself. But I absolutely loved this paper, and when I first saw it in the catalogue, I thought, not sure if it's me, because I don't normally like the kind of retro cutesy style, but you know what, I've really liked this. I've really loved working with it. Okay, so that's the bottom of my box covered. I'm now going to cover the flaps that stick out, and I've cut my DSP 1 inch wide by 2 1/2. I'll get it right in a minute, and I've cut it so that it goes in the opposite diagonal to that. Again, don't have to do that at all. I just liked it. I just thought that I just liked the way that looked. So I'm going to put that onto the flaps of my box. Probably going to do a little bit of fast forwarding on around about now. So that's the outside of my box. Now I've got one more 2.5 inch square piece of the DSP, and that's going to go on the back bit, standing up there. And I have here a piece of very vanilla card which I've stamped with Making Spirits Bright, which is from our Into the Woods set. I think that's what it's called. And I've got my 2-inch circle punch, which just happens to fit exactly. And again, I've stamped that in real red. And where's my dimensionals? Where have my dimensionals gone? I can't find my dimensionals. Just bear with me one moment while I fetch my dimensionals. Here they are. And we'll put just a couple of dimensionals onto the back of the circle, and that goes in the box like that. So we are getting there. I'm going to put a strip of tear and tape along the flap here, but I'm not going to close it up just yet. I'm just going to put that there ready, so that when I'm good and ready to do it, then it will work. But that's how my box will fold up and how it will look. I've got myself 2 pieces of Mossy Meadow card, which are about 1/2 inch wide, and they are 3 3/4 inch long, and I've scored it 1/2 inch from each end and folded them in a zigzag pattern so that they look like that, or like that. Okay. And I'm going to attach the first one, so it's not to this piece at the back, it's to the next one to it. And I'm folding it so that this bit is pointing to my right, and I'm going to apply a glue dot and position that just below the corner, so it's not right the way up to the front, you know, to the next box as it were, and it's not right at the top, it's just a teensy bit down, and I fold that out of the way. And you could use a wet glue or a tape for this. I'm just using these for speed. And the next piece is coming in, so that piece is pointing to the right, and with a glue dot, and I'm going to position that in the same line just behind it. Right. So now I'm going to put glue dots on the other end. Excuse the bing bong if you heard that. That was my email telling me that I've got another email because I forgot to turn it off. Again, the glue dots are for speed. Right, so now I'm going to fold this over the top, and that now provides my box mechanism. Okay, yeah, with me so far. So I can take the backing off this tape now, and I can close up my box. And to be honest, if I'd had sense, I would have had the flap coming round that way and put the paper on top of it so that you couldn't see it, but there it is. There's the box that my pieces are going to go into. I fussy cut myself some Christmas trees and Santa from the Home for Christmas DSP, and I've mounted them onto some very vanilla cardstock to give them a bit more authority, make them a bit firmer. And now we're going to fill the box. So I've got a glue dot on there. Where do I want this to go? Okay, so we'll have that one there. And then want to make sure that it still closes, and it does. And we'll have another one. Where should we go? Another one there. Okay. And we'll have Santa next, I think. And he can go here in front of the tree. How's that looking? Pretty cool, eh? And I've still got room for more trees. So there's my Santa Claus among all of the Christmas trees. And I think I'm happy with that. So we're all nearly finished now. This is a piece of our gold glitter ribbon, which is going to be retiring when the catalogue retires, and I've hardly used it at all. So do you know what? I've got to get using that, haven't I? So I've glued that on the back of that. So we'll put that on the top of our parcel. And I decided that it would be a pity not to use a bit more of the gold glitter ribbon because it is so pretty, and I've hardly used it at all. So I've cut myself a length and I've measured all the way around my box and left myself a bit to spare. And I'm going to run a piece of my tearing tape along the back of the card. Run my glitter ribbon over the top. I'm going to run that round to the front of my box. And make sure that there's room for it to go all the way around and that it's nice and straight. That's got twisted. How did that happen? And on the end here, which is going to be the overlap, I'm going to put a bit more tearing tape. Cut that off. Get out of the way, you naughty tearing tape here. It must be the heat from the lights, because whenever you do this, it never wants to behave. Right, okay, so again, whoops. I've got a rogue glue dot there, which I'll have to sort out in a minute. Okay, so put that then over the top. And that's it. So here's the finished box, and I did rearrange things. I did kind of unstick them and move Santa to the front of the card because I wanted him to be a bit more prominent, and he was hiding behind the trees a bit. So I hope you've enjoyed this project, and I do hope you'll give it a go. If you've enjoyed my videos, then please do think about subscribing. Do think about giving me a thumbs up and a like. And if you want to know more about me and about the products that I've used, then please do visit my blog or my Facebook page. The details are underneath this video. But that's it for now. I'll be back again soon with another project. But for now, thank you for joining me, and goodbye.